Hey everybody, so I'm going to talk about the song Ghosts real quick. It's going to be on the new album. But actually just, it's very different for me in several ways from what I normally do. First off, it's the first song that I've ever written completely on electric guitar. Um, it was one of those things that hit me, and it actually came pretty quick. But it's the first time I've ever written anything completely on the electric guitar. And it's also the first time that I've taken, I don't even know what you'd call it, but like any electronic element and put it into what I do. Um, I used to write pieces and send them to Alan, and he would do something with them, because that was his thing, doing the electronic stuff. And it's just never been my thing. And I thought, let's give it a shot. Honestly, I was just bored, and I had a couple of things in there and thought, well, let's give it a shot. My buddy Ringo's in here. He's not happy I'm not paying him attention right now. I'll be just a second, bud. So, yeah, anyway, so it's really fun. I've really enjoyed working on it. It's become one of my favorite songs to play. Just because there's a lot, I don't know. It's just, I can't explain why it's fun. It's just fun. Lyrically, I wasn't really sure what it was gonna to be about. Actually, I had the title that just fit that song, and I knew that was the title, but I had no idea what was going to come from it. And so I was kind of listening to it and came up, and it ended up being about a perfect moment, just kind of experiencing a perfect moment. I had someone ask me, if I'd ever had a perfect moment. I thought, no, I never really have. Not a completely perfect moment. And then I realized, after I actually thought about it, that yeah, the moment I just came out of with the person who asked me that was a perfect moment. And then thinking like, okay, well, that's what, going out, doing what we did, going to where we went, that's something that I've done 100 times before. What made it perfect? And then figuring out what was the different element about it. So it really it kind of came from that, just thinking about having a perfect moment. And a lot of times, I mean, for me, this is the first time it's happened, but I know that it's been like what we call perfect. But I know a lot of times, and I've talked to different people who've experienced this, where you do something that you've done 1,000 times before, but for whatever reason, this time was different. And so it's just about that. And then just having especially if you're in a position where you have that perfect moment, and the element that made it perfect is no longer available to you. And it's not something it's something you're not going to experience again. Just kind of having that ghost of that moment. Like for me, I try to tuck it away and just kind of erase it and forget about it, because there's, it's fun to remember, but it can also make you sad if you dwell on it. But you can't ever really get rid of it. I can't. Some people maybe can't, I don't know, but I can't. And so even as much as I say, well, I've erased it, and I tell myself we're not going to think about it, we're going to move on, we're going to deal with the next thing that comes along, and just make that as good as possible. And maybe later on down the road, we'll have another one. Something else will happen, and where everything falls into place, and you do have another perfect moment. For me, I still have like this little, every now and then it just kind of comes into your head, and you think about it, and you kind of smile, and then you have to push it away so you don't take away from the beauty of the moment, and it becomes a sad thing. So that's kind of where the ghost thing came from. It's like you just have that little ghost of that moment hanging around in the back of your head that comes forward every now and then figuring out what it was that made it perfect. But that's it. But musically, it's so much fun to play. I really can't wait to hear what the rest of the guys do with it. But it's so much fun to play. It's really cool. I'll do a playthrough for it at some point, maybe if I feel like it. But other than that, so that's I think it's the 4th track on the album, which is subject to change, once everything gets completely done and we set the arrangement. But right now it's track number 4. But it's really cool. Looking forward to everybody hearing it. and getting it out there to you. So that's that, and we will be talking to you about the next one, whatever we decide that's going to be pretty soon.